Hi guys, my name is Option Hunter and I'm going to be reviewing Starbound today. It is a game that is out on early release beta access on Steam. It's about 20 bucks and it's very good. It's very much like Terraria, but it's different in its own unique little ways. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's get this out of the way first. This game looks a lot like Terraria. In essence, it is essentially the same. It is a 2D voxel sandbox world built heavily around crafting and exploration. But there are differences that I want to talk to you about, and one of them is the survival mechanics. Much like in Minecraft, you have to eat to survive. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either farm your edibles like you can in Minecraft, or you can also hunt creatures with a hunting bow which gives you meat. You then cook the meat on a fire and eat it. Another survival mechanic is exposure. In this game, if you are outside at night, you will start to freeze to death. You can warm yourself up by a fire, or you can put on warm clothes that you can craft in the game. There are certain parts of the underground layers where this also kicks into effect, and for those you will need your clothes. There's another difference in this game than Terraria, and that is content. Whereas Terraria, you have the one world that you can explore and do things in, this game has nearly unlimited amounts of worlds for you to explore. They come in all different biomes. Just like in Terraria, you have the standard jungles and forests and snow biomes. But each biome is its own separate world, and the whole world is that biome. There will be some worlds when you venture out to explore that you will find biomes that are not part of the main biome of the world. But for the most part, they are the forest or the jungle or those kind of biomes. Other than that, the game plays much like Terraria. You craft better weapons and armor and gear so that you can upgrade yourself to take on more challenging bosses and monsters, and you can go to different worlds. The game's crafting recipes revolve around boss fights, wherein you have to defeat bosses to get better crafting recipes such as better workbenches or better star maps. Now those are the major differences it has from Terraria, but there are a lot of other smaller differences that make this game kind of unique in its own way. Now, one of the differences that this game has from Terraria is that it has races, and each race has their own unique appearance, and they all have their own unique special abilities, such as humans can carry more, and glitches can mine faster, and so on and so forth. Now, the game does share a difficulty setting with Terraria. Permadeath is what Hardcore would have been in Terraria. Hardcore is the next lower level where you lose items and money on death, and Normal is just your normal mode where you lose money on death. Now, another difference that this game has from Terraria is the way that it introduces its mechanics to you. And the game introduces the mechanics to you through a quest system. When you first start the game, you get the quest, get the matter manipulator. And this is your basic tool that you will probably carry around the whole time you're in the game. And from there on, it explains the different mechanics of the game, the crafting, the survival aspects, and the boss fights at the very end with the very end quest. And once you finish this quest, you pretty much know that everything you're going to need to know to play the game. Now, another difference this game has from Terraria is the mining system. And the mining system is kind of different, whereas in Terraria you could mine one block at a time. The pickaxe in this game mines a 3x3 square of blocks all at the same time. So mining things is much faster and much easier in this game than it was in Terraria. Now, you can mine one block at a time, and to do that you hold down the shift key and mine the block, and it'll mine one block at a time. And this also extends to building things. You hold down the shift key and you can place one block at a time. Now, another difference that this game has is that there is no hammer to mine background blocks. To mine background blocks, you hold down the right click button, and to mine foreground blocks, you hold down the left click button. And this is much smoother and much more simpler than having two tools to mine each of the other. Now, building works very similar to the mining mechanics in this game. You hold down the left and right click buttons to place blocks. You place foreground blocks by holding down the left click button, and you place background blocks by holding down the right click button. And another difference is that unlike Terraria where you place one block at a time, in this game you place them in a 3x3 grid, just like you mine them in a 3x3 grid. And again, you can place single blocks by holding down the shift key and then clicking on whichever button you want to place the block at. And this system is much smoother and easier to build with than in Terraria's system of one block at a time and having 7 blocks for walls. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is your spaceship. It is important to your gameplay because it lets you travel between worlds. You first have to fuel up your spaceship, and you do that by using fuel type ores in the fuel processor, such as coal or uranium or some of the other ones that are out there. And when you travel to a new star, any one of them you can go to on the star map, there will be worlds there, and the worlds, when you click on them, will tell you what kind of biome there is. There are also different sectors that you can go to, and you can go there by completing boss fights and crafting new star maps. Now those are some of the differences that I wanted to talk to you about. There are a bunch more, and I'm pretty sure if you play this game at all, you will find them by yourself. The last thing I want to talk to you about before I give you my verdict is the soundtrack, and in my opinion, I think it's one of the better things about this game. Now, as I've been doing this video, I've been playing in the background songs from the soundtrack of Starbound, and there is a ton of songs for this game. There are over 60 tracks, and they are all done by the man named Curtis Schweitzer. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that last name, but there you go. Now, this soundtrack, in my opinion, is what really makes this game great to me. It has so much variety in it that you can go into different worlds and different days and get a different song almost every time. And there's also battle songs, because when you're fighting, you'll notice that the sounds change. The songs change to a different battle tune, and then they change smoothly back to the regular overworld music. And this soundtrack is something that I just really like about this game. It is beautiful, it's well done, it has a ton of variety, and you know, you can buy this soundtrack online on Steam for $5. So if you really like soundtracks in the games, or soundtracks in general, I would suggest you buy this soundtrack because it is well worth the $5 that you pay for it. Now, I'm going to do my verdicts a little differently, and I just want to tell you whether I think you should get this game. And in all honesty, I think that if you really enjoyed Terraria and you really enjoyed Minecraft, then you will enjoy this game and you should get it. It's got some concepts from Terraria, it's got a little bit of Minecraft in it, and then all it blends together smoothly into its own unique game. And really, if you enjoy both of those games, you will like this game, and it is well worth the $20 that you will pay for it, even in beta. And with them constantly adding new content through updates, this game is really worth the money that you pay for it. Now, if you're only mildly interested in these types of games, then I would recommend that you wait until it comes out from the full version. But really, I think if you don't get this game, then you are going to be missing out on a great game. A great indie game with a great development team and a whole huge fan base. And I only talked about the single player elements of the game. There is a multiplayer to this game where you can play with your friends just like in Minecraft and just like Terraria. So really, you should get this game. That's my review of Starbound, and my verdict is that even if you don't enjoy these types of games, that you should get this game and try it, because it is the epitome of what 2D sandbox voxel games are ever going to be. Thank you for watching this, and see you around the bend.